So to those of you I haven't met before, my name is Lucy. We'll be doing a Vinyasa flow practice today, and I always encourage everybody to move at their own pace. So we're going to be doing a progressive flow where we slowly, not progressive as in hard, progressive as in we're going to slowly progress throughout the class. So if at one point you decide that you've gone far enough in a variation and you don't want to do more, that's completely fine. Your body, listen to it, modify. There's going to be a lot of chaturangas, a lot of shoulder lowering downs. So skip them if you need, take breaks if you need, and enjoy your flow. So, laying on the mat with the eyes closed, the knees are bent, feet on the floor, feet as wide as the mat, knees knocking into center. I like to take one hand to my heart and one hand to my belly, so I can really notice the breath. At the moment, we won't have any control of the breath, just simple noticing. You may notice the rise of your chest and fall as you exhale, or maybe the rise of your belly and fall. Just notice where the breath is moving. And the intention I really want to weave into class today is the act of loving kindness. So you might ask, what is loving kindness? Maybe you were in my class on Thursday, you've heard this already. But loving kindness is giving that same kind of love and that same kind of kindness that you would to someone who you really, really cared about, someone who you love dearly. I always use my dog as an example, but I use my partner, real human being today. And I think when I'm not being a grumpy Lucy and my partner makes a mistake and he says, oh, I feel really bad about making this mistake, I treat him with love and kindness. I talk to him in a way, I reassure him it's okay, we work through it. I have compassion. But then sometimes when I make a mistake, I don't have that same love and kindness. Or someone that I really don't like or I don't agree with, I don't have that same love and kindness. So we're cultivating the love and kindness we would have for those that we really care about, that we really have compassion for, and see if we can spread that onto ourselves and onto others. Starting a little bit of breath control now. As you inhale, see if you can breathe all the way into your belly, filling it up. Exhale, emptying completely. There's this slight tuck of the belly button to the spine, waking up the core. Inhale, full big breath, breathing through the nose now if you can. Exhale, nice big breath. See if you can find a count. I like 4. And you'll count your breaths in and out just for a couple rounds. So for me it would be inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. So on and so forth. This will be your rhythm through the whole practice. So take your time to set a rhythm that feels good. And see if you can notice with loving kindness anytime that you lose this rhythm. Anytime the breath starts to become shallow or rapid. Breathing in Ujjayi breath, if you're familiar, slight contraction in the throat. You'll reach down for your knees, hug them in towards your chest, give yourself a nice squeeze. There might even be some rocking or movement here. And then keep hold of your left leg, extend the right. Squeeze that leg all the way into your chest. Then start to extend the leg up to the sky, hamstring stretch, maybe holding the back of the thigh. Flexing those toes back towards the face. We're going to play with some internal and external rotation. So you'll start to pigeon your toes towards the right, internal, and then ballet feet, toes go towards the left, external rotation. So just having a play around with that, noticing how you feel it all the way up into your hip. So this internally and externally rotates your entire leg. We're going to pause in internal, so the toes pigeon-toed pointing to the right. And then take the leg all the way across your body, letting the outside of the hips stretch open. Maybe if it feels nice, you can reach the left arm away. Keep that foot really active so the left toes are pulling back towards the face. Take a breath in. Wait for your exhale to almost complete, and then come back to center. Inhale. Maybe a deeper hamstring stretch. The hand might reach higher up the leg. And then bend the knee, hug it into the chest. Roll it back over, supine twist. Knee to the right. Left shoulder stays grounded. Stay for your exhale breath. And then come back to center. Hug both knees into the chest. Squeeze, roll, whatever you need. And then left leg extends, right leg hugs in. So even the extended leg is working a little bit. We're actively pushing the left foot away while we're squeezing the right knee in. Feel that compression at the top of the hips. And then when you're ready, inhale, extend the leg. Toes pull back towards the knee. Start to play around with internal and external rotation. Feeling it all the way at the top. You'll notice your thigh, your shin, the whole leg moves. Pause an internal rotation. I have to wiggle a bit here. And take your leg all the way across to the left. Reaching the right arm out if that feels nice. And keeping activation in both legs. See if even here you can find this slight tuck of the tailbone and pulling in of the lower belly. Coming back to center. One more stretch up to the ceiling, maybe a little deeper. Maybe not, maybe you already found your depth. And then knee hugs into chest. And you come back to the supine twist with the bent knee. Releasing the spine, taking a nice big inhale, feeling the ribs expand. Exhale, softening, staying. And then back to center. Both knees hug in towards the chest. You might close the eyes down just to have a little bit of a roll out here on the back, maybe side to side, maybe little circles. And just picture that person or pet or whoever it is that you can feel completely unconditional loving kindness for. The ones that when they mess up, you can have compassion and treat them, with love and kindness. And when you're ready, you'll start to rock and roll up the length of your spine. I like to hold the backs of my thighs. If you have anything going on in the spine and this isn't for you, you can make your way up another way. Otherwise, rock and roll all the way up and jump back to tabletop. On the inhale breath, right hand peels up to the sky. Keep pushing the left hand into the floor. Spread between the collarbones. Exhale, thread the needle, just hovering above the floor. Inhale, you'll count 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hovering, thread the needle. Inhale, one more time, reach up, expand as wide as you can. And then exhale to land, thread the needle, shoulder and cheek come to the floor. See if you can notice what the back of your hips are doing. Maybe you could even take your hand to your lower back and notice that your hips haven't gone off to one side. Very commonly happens when we're twisting. We try and twist from the hips instead of from the core. If there's any binds available for you, feel free to go there. One more round of in. As your out breath comes, left hand replaces next to the face. As your in breath comes, nice big wing, expanding stretch. Right hand comes down. Waiting for your next inhale, your left hand will peel to the sky. Spread your wings, feel the fingertip to fingertip length, shoulders away from ears. Exhale, hover and thread the needle. Keep the hips as square as you can. Inhale, reach. Feel your waist lengthen. For your tummy, activate. Inhale, reach. This time we land, coming all the way down and finding any variation that suits you. You can do the same thing, test the hips, whatever you like. As your exhale lands, the right hand comes back next to the face. Inhale, peel open, collarbones broad, hand comes back down. And again, I invite you to close down the eyes for this one as we go into some explorative movement. So this is the part of the section, especially while we're doing Zoom classes and I can't really see a lot of you. This is the part where you get to really tune into your own body. If you know you have weak wrists, maybe this is the time to do some finger push-ups. If you know you have a tight lower back, you could start sort of feeling the cat-cow shape, really activating the core. You can do whatever you like here. Anything that feels good for you, anything that you need for your practice. And that might just be no moves, weird movement, weird shapes, weird circles, just to feel into what's there today. So no rules, about 2 or 3 more rounds of breath. One of my teachers has a great, I just love it. He always says, whenever he offers this, he goes, now it's time to break out your Beyonce routine. And then when you're ready, coming back to a still tabletop position, maybe 1 round of cat-cow just to open and awaken the spine. Exhale to round, push the floor away. Walk the hands 1 hand's distance in front of where they are. Tuck the toes, bring the hips back to the heels. Feel that length like a tiger ready to pounce. Grip the earth with your fingertips so your hands are engaged more than just your wrists. And then slowly push the hips up to the sky. I'd suggest keeping a little bend in the knees to start. Even if you know you're super flexy and you can go there, just sort of give the body a moment to wake up, to settle into this practice. Think about the center of the heel slowly grounding towards the earth. The back of the calves gently pushing forward. And the tops of the thighs gently pulling back. So there's this dualistic action. Look to the top of the mat and start to walk all the way to a halfway lift. Fingertips to shins for this one so you can really extend the crown of head out of the hips. Feel your outer hips turn on. Feel your feet push into the earth. Fill up 1 more nice big long breath, chin tethering to the chest. Exhale, fold. Soften the knees if you like. Taking the feet hip width, maybe even wider. We'll just let the body soften in ragdoll. You could have the arms bound or you could have them loose. Shake the head, yes, no. Another little moment of checking in. Where are you tight? And then we slowly start to activate the body. The feet root into the earth. The legs switch on. You feel your kneecaps lift and then slowly start to roll all the way up. Belly button tucks to spine. Vertebrae by vertebrae until the shoulders stack. The arms reach. Big breath in. Hands pull down heart center. We close the eyes. If you have another intention you're working with, now's the time to solidify that in your practice. Otherwise, loving kindness to yourself. If you want to modify, if you don't quite get what you wanted, and just practicing cultivating it in the heart, in the body, in the mind. When you're ready, inhale, reach the hands up. Exhale, fold, long spine. Inhale, halfway lift. Fingertips to floor or shins. Place the hands. Step back, high plank. We're going to pause here for a moment. Now, I want you to imagine that your ribs and your hips are connected. So there's this slight magnet that's hugging them together. And then you're going to come forward onto your tippy toes. For this first one, we all drop the knees, squeeze the elbows into center, and then pull your fingers back towards your legs. That will pull you forwards as you lower down chaturanga to the floor. Inhale, cobra. Shoulder blades squeeze together, maybe hover the hands. Place the hands on the floor, roll over the knees, push back, downward facing dog. See if you can notice space between the shoulders and the ears. Opening the shoulders. Take a deep breath in. Long breath out. And we'll look to the top of the mat. We'll step once more. All the way to the halfway lift. Crown of head long. Even here we have that magnet of hips to ribs, so we don't flare out the ribs. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Hands pull down to heart center. Starting to flow a little more now. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, part the sky as you fold. Long spine, strong legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Place the hands. Step back, high plank. If you want to keep the knees lifted, keep the knees lifted. If you want to keep modifying, keep dropping the knees. Chaturanga. Maybe one more cobra unless you're ready for upward facing dog. And then push back, downward facing dog. Breath in. Breath out. Left leg with the toes slightly turned in, so pigeon toes. Lift to the sky. Won't go as high as when we're in external rotation because the hips don't have as much space. Knee pulls to nose, pause, push the floor away, and as quietly as you can, step that foot down. Drop the back knee, open the arms, Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Circle the hands down. Frame the front foot, half Hanuman, left toes pull back, left leg straightens. So we're going to do this one a lot. Some cues you want to look for is that back hip staying over the knee. So sometimes when we do this, we come all the way back. So see if you can keep that hip over the knee. Toes pulling back towards the face, the left toes. And you can have a little bend in this knee if you need. There's no need to push it all the way to straight. We're going to have a lot of opportunity to do this. As you exhale, you might bow a little deeper over that extended leg, letting the head drop. And then as you inhale, pull yourself back to the lunge, lift your back leg, hands grip into the earth, push the floor away and see how quietly you can pick up that left foot, send it back, high plank. Chaturanga, remember you can always skip these. Cobra or upward facing dog. I will not be demonstrating upward facing dog today because I have some lower back stuff, but you can go there if you like. Next inhale breath, right leg lifts, toes slightly turned in. Exhale, tiger curl, knee to nose, pause. Right foot plants gently. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Pause at the top and then continue the circle all the way down. Frame your front foot. Half Hanuman. Back toes can be tucked or untucked, whatever feels more comfortable. Let the head go. Breath in. Breath out. The inhale pulls you to the lunge. Back knee lifts. Push the earth away so you cannot drag, but step the foot back, high plank. And then your choice, you either take chaturanga up dog, but remember you can always skip it and come straight back downward facing dog. Breath in. Breath out. Look to the top of the mat. This time come onto your tippy toes, bend your knees, and if you want to, keep the arms straight and float. Pop to your halfway lift. Crown of head extends. Exhale, fold. Keep the butt hugging towards the heels so the back of the legs are engaged. Inhale, flat back as you rise to stand. Hands pull to heart center, pause. Inhale, reach the hands high. Bring the big toes together to touch, sit down, chair pose. Bottom of the belly tucks in, tailbone lengthens. And that magnet from the hips to the ribs, we're tucking the ribs in. Sit a little deeper. And then sit a little deeper again. And then on your next exhale, fold, release. Let it go. Inhale, halfway lift, long spine, strong legs. Place the hands, step back, high plank. Remember I said there's a lot of these today, so feel free to skip or modify the chaturangas, the cobras or upward facing dogs. Meeting back in downward facing dog, we pause. Feel the breath, fill your body. Feel it empty your body. Then you come back to loving kindness for yourself as you continue to flow. Inhale, left leg lifts, not rushing. Exhale, knee to nose till the breath is completely empty. Step, drop the back knee. 4 counts as you inhale up. Starting to exhale as you sweep the hands down and fold. This time pulling forwards, inhale, lunge, lift the back knee. Exhale, pyramid pose, back heel lifted, so nice long stance here. Inhale, back to the lunge, back knee off the floor, you can always drop it if you like. Left hand peels up to the sky for a twist. Keep the right hip lifting, the right thigh firing on. Hand comes down, push the floor away, step back, high plank. Yogi's choice, your journey back, downward facing dog. Count out the breath. If you've lost the rhythm, pause. You're at home, you're in your own space. Now is the best time to explore modification because we don't have those little voices that all of us have comparing us to others. On your next inhale, right leg lifts to the sky, pigeon toes slightly. Knee to nose. Empty the breath. Step and land. Inhale up. Pelvis tucked. Slight back bend. Fingertips frame the front foot, half honeymoon. Just for the exhale breath. Go to your depth. Inhale to the lunge, lift the back knee. Fold on the exhale, pyramid pose. Back heel lifted. Inhale, lunge. Keep that back thigh exactly where it is as you peel the right hand in your twist. Exhale, hand comes down. Push the floor away, step back, high plank. Your journey back to downward facing dog. Remember, skipping is just as beautiful as doing, if that's what you need today. It's about figuring out your balance, about listening to your body. Yoga is not about doing 100 chaturangas. It's about knowing when to do 100 and when to do 10. And a whole lot of other things. Look to the top of the mat, float or walk, halfway lift. Bring big toes together to touch, this time sit down, chair pose, Utkatasana, feel the fire. If you have the energy today, why not just go a little deeper? Test your limits. Inhale, open the heart. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Take the feet wider, exhale, fold, release. We'll stay for a round of breath. Maybe open the mouth. Roll or flat back, up to you, up to stand. Reach. Hands to heart center. Notice the flow of blood, notice the energy. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Place the hands, step back, high plank. You know this, chaturanga or skip. Cobra or up dog. Downward facing dog. We're going to pause in down dog for a moment and just think about how you feel, and think about if you saw someone look how you feel, what would you suggest that they do? Would you suggest that they keep doing the chaturangas? The answer might be yes. You're looking strong, you're looking on fire, keep going. Would you suggest that they rest? Someone who you love and care about. Next, inhale, breath. Toes turns in, left leg lifts. Feel the belly button hug to the spine, the hands push the floor away. Nice long line. Knee to nose, pause, empty, step. Same flow as before, back knee drops, Anjaneyasana, hands circle. Frame the front foot. Exhale, breath, half Hanuman, you've got this. Inhale, low lunge. Lift the back knee. Exhale, fold, pyramid pose. Inhale, lunge, pause. Wait for your next inhale, breath, twist. Exhale, hand comes down. Step back, high plank. Yogi's choice. Can you still do chaturanga with integrity if you're choosing to do it? Can you finish your inhale completely if you do a back bend? Naughty Lucy just did up dog. Shouldn't be doing that. And can you meet yourself with loving compassion and kindness when you notice you've gone too far? Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, knee to nose. Drop the back knee. Inhale, circle up, low lunge. Hands come down, fold. Inhale, pull forward, lift the back leg. Exhale, pyramid pose. Back to the lunge, twist, right hand peels. Hand comes down. Step back, high plank. Remember, you can always skip these. We meet back in downward facing dog. We're going to pause for 3 rounds of breath. If you'd like to pause in child's pose, it's a beautiful spot. And you're just going to count the rhythm of your breath. You could be in down dog if you prefer. Just come back to your 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, or whatever your rhythm is. Just notice. And if it's not that, loving kindness. If you need to let a breath or two go through the mouth, that's totally fine. And bring yourself back to control. If you're in child's pose, start to make your way back up, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts, closed hip. Exhale, knee to nose, tiger curl, step. Drop the back knee, open the arms, same as we did before, you've got this. Exhale down, half Hanuman. Feel it like you've never done it before, toes flexing towards face, head bowing. Inhale, pull forwards, feel this lunge for a second. Exhale, fold, pyramid pose. Pull back forward to the lunge. Twist. Take a breath in. Take your hands down and then reach your hands as far forward as you can as you lift forwards and up, crescent lunge. If your stance is too long, feel free to step your back foot in or shuffle your feet a little wider left and right. Pay attention to the bowl of your pelvis and make sure that you're not tipping your hips forward in order to get a deeper lunge. You want to keep slight tuck of the tailbone, which might mean a little bend in the back knee. Lovely. Sides of waist long, hands reaching to sky. Feel strong in your lunge. Then hands come to heart center, lean forwards so you can push into that back leg, extend it. Pelvis bowl spilling out now. And then use your core to start to twist to the left. So don't hook this arm. Keep the hands at heart center and use your legs and your core to twist. Notice if it's your head that's twisting. See if you can keep your chin in line with the center of your chest. Maybe lift that back leg a little more, lengthen the crown of your head a little more, take one more deep breath in. Stay for the exhale. Inhale, reach back up, crescent lunge. Exhale, straighten that front leg and turn all your toes to the right hand side, wide-legged stance. Hands reach up, outer hips hug in, start to reach forward as you bow down. Head drops. Breath in, breath out. Having slightly pigeon-toed feet here, so no ballet feet. This helps us hug the outer hips in and protects our knees and hips and all the good stuff. Inhale, halfway lift. Take the right hand to the sky, twist, and then just check your hips are still in line. Just like in tabletop, sometimes one hip wants to pull out. Thread the needle, sorry. Right hand peels a little higher, and then as you exhale, thread the needle underneath your left armpit and reach for anywhere on your left leg. Sorry, left armpit. Good old Lucy, twisting things. So you're reaching to your opposite leg, and then if you feel stable, you can take that hand that was on the floor to your lower back, and maybe all the way across for a bind. Seeing if you can let your head become heavy, but your outer hips are hugging in, your spine is long and your core is engaged. There's a magnet in the center of your mat and your feet are hugging towards it. Take one more breath in. Exhale, release. Crawl yourself all the way back to the top of the mat, finding your low lunge. Drop the back knee, circle, open the chest. Fold down, step your foot slightly forwards, ground the heel, pyramid pose. So we're doing the same pyramid pose, but the foot is now stepped about 1 foot forwards and the back heel should be able to ground. If the floor is really far away, you can get blocks, you can get cans or anything that you need to modify. See if you can lift the front toes. So you really drive the ball of the foot into the floor and then hug the back hip forwards so you have that flat low back. Let the head drop. Rebend your front knee, find your lunge, find the floor, push the floor away, step back, high plank, and then your journey, chaturanga, cobra, up dog. We meet in downward facing dog. And then we let that go with loving kindness. Breath in. Maybe even an open mouth, weird noise. Whatever you need to make this morning. And we get to do it all again on the other side. Hands strong, gripping into the fingers. Right leg lifts, pigeon toe. Knee to nose, tiger curl. Back knee drops, Anjaneyasana. Big sweeping arms. Let it be rhythmic. Exhale, fold, half Hanuman. Bow to your depth. Inhale, pull forward. This time really pull the heart forwards. Tuck the toes. Bow, pyramid. Back heel lifted, long. Pull forward, lunge, twist. Right hand reaches. Collarbone spread. Hand comes back down. And then they reach forwards like there was treasure in front of you. And then all the way up to the sky. Adjusting the legs as you need. But also testing, like, do I need to bend my back knee? Or can I keep my pelvis bowl neutral with a straight leg? Remember, there's no right or wrong, there just is. Hands will come to heart center. Lean forwards. Belly button hugs in. You might even feel the tuck of your tailbone as you twist. Notice what's coming up in the mind. Notice the sensations in the body. Can you stick with the breath? Can you stick with the concentration of the pose? For one more breath in. One more breath out. Inhale, lift up, crescent lunge, straighten everything, turn all the toes to the left. This time hands will reach wide as you fold, outer hips hug in. When you get to the floor, let the head drop. Maybe have a play with rocking a little forwards and back, not too much or you'll fall over. Just to feel the weight in the feet, so you can feel the back of the heels, the ball of the foot. And then see if you can really push into the outside edge of the foot and the inside edge of the foot. So it's an equal spread. Inhale, halfway lift. Right hand peels up, twist. Sorry, bring that back down. My lefts and rights aren't my friend today, guys. Left hand peels up, twist. Keep the hips as stable as you can. Thread the needle. Reach to the opposite leg. So doing the opposite side we did to the other side. Maybe you're grabbing the thigh, the knee. For some, maybe the foot or the outside of the ankle. If you feel stable, if you feel strong in the legs and the outer hips, the right hand might reach up. It might find the low back, a bind, whatever depth is available for you. If you feel steady, I invite you to close down the eyes. Come back to your breath. Cycles of even in and out. And release everything on your exhale. Hands to the floor as you crawl back to your lunge. Drop the back knee. Sweeping inhale, Anjaneyasana. Place the hands, step the foot about a foot forwards so you can ground the heel. And remember, you can still have as much of a bend as you need in that front leg, especially if you don't have props. But if you can, working towards a straight front leg. Nice long spine, folding to whatever depth is available, head drops. Really think about your back, left hip hugging forwards. Back outer edge of foot, pushing into the earth. Feel all these things happening, and then see if you can relax your head, relax your shoulders, relax your jaw. Take a breath in. Lunge forward, place the hands, step back, high plank. Your journey back to downward facing dog, whatever it is. And then we pause. 2 rounds of breath when you arrive in downward facing dog. Remember, if you would prefer to pause in something else, you can. I recommend a nice big juicy when you arrive. Last little bit here. Inhale, left leg lifts. Step the foot forwards. Step the back foot back, coming to pyramid pose. So just where we were before. It's like you have warrior 1 legs, but your front leg is straight. Back toes slightly turning forward. See if you can halfway lift. So you might even use your shin for this, if you can balance, to get a really nice long spine here. Pull your right hip forwards, feel that action of the right hip hugging forwards, and then bow. Inhale back to the halfway lift. This time take your left hand to your low back. Imagine you were balancing a full cup of water there, and you can't let your hips move because your water will spill. Maybe it's something else, like a really expensive champagne that you're balancing. Or whatever is your drinking choice. Keep lengthening the crown of your head forwards, and then as you keep your lower back flat, start to open your left shoulder. Start to twist, twisted pyramid. Keep pushing the back foot into the ground, and then if there's space, if it feels comfortable, you can fly the left arm up to the sky. Take a breath in, a breath out, and then here's a challenging transition. If it's not for you, we'll just meet at the top of the mat in a forward fold. But what I want you to do is not think too much. Reach your left hand slightly forward, keep your fingers on the floor, and then float your back leg, twisted half moon. You can check in, is my drink still stable? Often no, the answer is it's spilt. And then when you're ready, forward fold. Head drops. Breath in, breath out. Roll or flat back, up to stand. Don't flare the ribs, but reach the fingertips high. Hands to heart center, take a moment. Find your drishti, your gaze, your single point of focus. And then root your right foot into the earth. Literally imagine there were roots growing from each four corners of your feet. Take your hands to heart center. Lift your left knee in line with the hip. Take your right hand to the outside of your left thigh. If you have it, you know that there's space in your practice. You could grab the outside of the foot, but make sure that that hip doesn't have to lift up in order to get it. You can do this with a bent knee too. And then as you're ready, left hand reaches behind. Keep growing tall from that rooted foot to the crown of your head. If you're wobbly, smile, don't worry about it. If you're really stable, test your gaze by looking towards your backhand. Breathe, loving kindness, whatever's coming up. Coming back to the top of the mat. If the leg is straight, keep it straight. If not, can you straighten it for an inhale? Exhale, airplane pose, you've got this. Bend the front knee all the way until your toes softly land, crescent lunge. Breath in. Exhale, land the back knee. Take a breath in, maybe back bend. And then half Hanuman fold, pause, release. Pull back forwards, place the hands, and you know it, your journey back to downward facing dog. If it's chaturanga, can you still do it with integrity? Can you still keep the breath? It's better to do it perfectly, gracefully, with integrity once, than do it hurting yourself and not mindfully 100 times. When you're ready, right leg lifts to the sky. Exhale, knee to nose, step. Back foot steps in about a foot, toes turn out, pyramid pose. We find maybe blocks if you have some, or cans, or your shin, halfway lift. Slight little micro bend in that front knee. Left hip hugs forward, fold. Left fingertips find the earth. Right hand finds your low back. Slowly the journey begins, twisting open, twisted pyramid pose. Can you feel your belly button hugging into your spine, the sides of your body lengthening, and then maybe on that exhale breath, without spilling your drink on your back, there's a little deeper twist. Shoulder blades hugging together, pushing the floor away with the feet. One more juicy inhale. Then you're going to look, take your left hand higher up, and without thought, float, twisted half moon. Right hand can reach up if you want, or it can stay on your low back. Maybe play with hovering the fingertips. And then on an exhale, you fold. Let the head go, let the body release. Maybe there's some swaying. Your journey, roll or flat back. Reach to the sky, hands to heart center. Recalibrate. Left foot cements into the floor. Right knee lifts in line with the hips. Same as the other side, choose the variation that works for you. Keep your hips even. And then start working towards your twist. Right hand reaches back. Gaze goes wherever feels best. To test your balance, look to your back hand. Breath in and out. In and out. Come back to center. Can you imagine a string from the crown of your head pulling your spine long as you kick your right foot out if it's not already there, and then pendulum it back. Airplane, fly. Bend the left knee and keep bending it until you feel like you can really gently touch the toes down. Lift up, crescent lunge. Land the knee. Full back bend, opening option here. Anjaneyasana, chest reaches. Hands sweep. Exhale, half Hanuman fold. Come forwards. And then your journey back to downward facing dog. Whatever gets you there. Last opportunity for chaturanga, so if it's there, go for it. Look to the top of your mat, jump through, come all the way onto your bum, and then all the way onto your back. Turn around. As you land on your back, you'll take your left foot, clearing over your right thigh, finding reverse pigeon. So you want to make sure that your ankle isn't weighting on your thigh, it's cleared your thigh. If this is enough for you and you're feeling a stretch, you can stay with your foot on the ground. Or you can come to the back of the thigh. You can come to the shin. Or you can come to any variation you know. If you're aware of sleeping pigeon and you want to go there, don't let me hold you back. I really encourage closing down the eyes here and keeping control of that rhythmic breath. Keep your legs in their shape, take your foot back to the floor. Keep them exactly as they are and take your left foot to the floor. Right hand grabs left ankle. Maybe there's a little space to pull it closer towards your face. But see if you can keep your left hip dragging down towards the earth so you end up with a stretch in your outer left hip. Or somewhere in that spot, around there. Come back to center, cross the legs fully, and then drop them over twisted roots, supine twist. If this isn't for you, unravel the legs and find your favorite supine twist. If you want to extend it to the crown of your head, look away from your legs. Come back to center. Unravel the legs, 2 feet touch the earth, reach for the back of your heel, tuck the tailbone, bridge pose. Squeeze the thighs together. If there's space, interlace the hands under the body. Give your fire one more time to this pose. Take a breath in, see your belly expand. Exhale, release, come down. As soon as your hips touch, one more time, if you have it in you, bridge pose. If not, and you want to rest, just rest. Squeeze the thighs rolling down. Big belly breath. And then exhale, release. This time right crosses over left, recline pigeon. Going to whatever depth suits your body. Flexing those right toes back towards the knee. Pushing that knee slightly away from you. Bring the foot back down. Take the right foot to the earth, and then see if you can sort of fight that direction by using your core, using your hip strength to pull your right hip down. So it's don't use your hands, but it's as if you're pulling your right hip back down towards the mat, trying to have a flat back. And then you might reach for your foot, maybe pull it a little closer. Come back to center, cross completely, or find your variation of a supine twist. Legs dropping to the left, arms, any variation that suits. Eyes closed down. Breath still, rhythmic. Can you fill your rib cage? Coming back to center, hugging the knees in towards the chest, give yourself a little squeeze. And then about a minute here to do any pose that you feel that you need before coming to our Shavasana. We're going to do a little outro into Shavasana. If you just want to spend this time with your knees together and your feet wide, resting, or if you want to come into Shavasana early, please do. But if there's something in your practice, like you want to take a happy baby or a shoulder stand or anything at all that you feel you would like to balance out your practice, go there now. A question often asked for this is, what do you need to rest in Shavasana? And if you're ready for Shavasana, that's what you need. So whatever it is that you want, you'll take your time. Maybe what you need is grabbing your blankies and warm things. And then when you're complete in your Vinyasa practice for today, which will be different to any other day, you'll find your way into Shavasana. Lying flat on the back, the eyes closed down, breath control ceases.
Do you want to know what enlightenment is?
Inviting loving kindness.
It's with you every moment. It's a back and forth. Letting go of your attachment to yourself, to outcomes. Letting go to the way things are. If I could let go of everything, or I could let go of right or wrong, it would get deeper and deeper. And it was amazing. lifetime of judgment against myself. And letting that go. With thoughtless breath, instant bliss returns, instant infinity. I didn't transcend my ego, we became partners, became teammates.
Slowly starting to invite breath back in. And if you want to stay longer, please do. You can rest for as long as you like. You can mute me and put me away. And if it's time to wake up, take your time. Like the beginning of that song said, do you want to know what enlightenment is? And then he takes a deep breath in and out. Feel your breath awaken your body. Move your body, roll to one side. There's a bridge between rest and awake. And gently make yourself seated in a comfortable position. The hands will find one another at heart center. And I love some of the lyrics in that song. He didn't transcend his ego, this thing that's always talked about, almost like it's dirty. He didn't transcend his ego, he became partners with it. And we take a deep breath in together. A long breath out. And we close practice with this word that translates essentially to, I am a human and you are a human and we all feel the same. We live the same path. We have the same struggles. Although our journeys may be different, the light within me is the same as the light within you. And to each other we say, Namaste. Thank you so much, as always. This wouldn't be a thing without you guys. If you have any questions, please feel free to write in the chat. Otherwise, I'll see you guys next time.